an important day for us. I mean, our state has some troubles. We've got budget deficits. We've got 100,000 fewer Missourians that are working today than were working 3 years ago. We've got an unemployment rate that is at or above the national average. We've got some real challenges, but those challenges need leadership, and this is a group of people that I'm proud to stand before that took that leadership seriously. We've agreed to a compromise that will create thousands of jobs, not just in St. Louis, but in Kansas City, in Columbia, all around this state, even in rural Missouri. It's a proposal that we believe will be on the forefront of what you see nationally. And we're thrilled to be here to present it to you. It's also got some significant reforms that protect the taxpayers. And when you look at the reforms and the money that we spent on the incentives, it will save over $1.5 billion over 15 years for the taxpayers. And so this isn't corporate welfare. This is job creation. I'm thrilled to be here today. I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
Very well. And we're excited to be here. As the speaker spoke about earlier, this is a monumental piece of legislation. I spoke to my caucus early on during the session, and I told them I thought this would be the most important piece of legislation that we could bring forth in this legislative session. So when we didn't get it accomplished, we were disappointed. But there's one thing that I learned from an old Baptist preacher many years ago. He talked about talent, he talked about intelligence, he talked about craftiness and about how all those things can make you successful. But he said one of the keys to success and accomplishment is something called persistence and persevering. And I think that's what this legislative body, both Senate and House, did. They made a commitment to get this job done, and I'm so very proud to be a part not only of the Senate, but this whole legislative body that I call my family. And, you know, when you look at the situation of Missouri, where we have over 250,000 Missourians that are out of work and have been out of work for over a year and a half, we have thousands of more that are underemployed. We recognize that our main objective in this session was to put people back to work. And for Missouri, we have to put people back to work because our budget is reliant on people working and paying taxes and adding to our revenue. So, you know, this is an outstanding piece of legislation for that reason. And also, it's an outstanding piece of legislation because as we look into the future, as Speaker Tilley pointed out, this bill has about over $1.5 billion in cost savings. And if we're going to continue to try to give increased amounts of funding to higher ed and K through 12 education, we've got to spend our dollars wisely, and this is the first step in making that happen. So we're excited about that. You know, another thing, I had the opportunity to speak with the Governor's Chief of Staff this morning, and we talked about arranging a meeting next week to personally share with him the details of our job legislation and ask him to call us into a special session so that we can pass this historic agreement. The issue is much too important to become a partisan issue. And historically, economic development has not been an issue that divides Republicans and Democrats. And so I look forward to working with our governor to make this happen in the coming weeks. Thank you very much for allowing me to